Okay, so this is the Tamiya project with the 15 turn motor. I'm going to do a 10-yard run, and then I'm going to try to do 100 yards, see if I can keep the car straight for all 100 yards. That was 18 miles an hour. Someone's hair. That was 20. Let's do one more. Again, I'm maxing out at 20 miles an hour. Let's see if I can get it a little faster. Still haven't beat 20 miles an hour. All right, let's try for the long run. We got 32 miles an hour. That's not bad at all for a brushed motor. Let's see if I can get it going a little faster. That one got to 33. $32 miles an hour. I think that's going to be all you're going to get out of this. That's not bad. Let's go to the next car. Okay, first things first, we'll just do the 10 meter. That sounds rough. Alright, let's try again. miles an hour. I think that's all I'm going to get out of that one. Might need a motor upgrade. We'll see. Broke. Damn these things. So that was 24 on the 10 meter. Alright, that was 39 miles an hour. Now I just need to pick up my mess. Look, a fire extinguisher. Okay, let's review the cars. Well, I remember at least this part of it. Alright, for the Evader BX is slow. I think it only topped out at 16 miles an hour on the whole 100 yards. And it's relatively easy to steer though, but I think a lot of that's because it's not very fast. It did well. I think I may not have had the gears meshed properly, so I might need to buy a new pinion gear. I need to look at that. But it seems like everything's okay otherwise. And in fact, it kind of ran down the track, didn't make too much racket this last time I ran it down the track. So we're gonna have to, so I'll have to take a look at that closer. The next one is the C11, the Mercedes, the Tamiya kit that I built. That one got up to 32 miles an hour. We'll review the footage, and then I'll tell you in the footage. It was 32, 34 miles an hour on the 100-yard track. I got it up to 36 yesterday. That was going downhill. So we're not going to worry about that. We're going to say that the speed it could go with that 15-turn motor is 32, 34 miles an hour. And it was actually doing really well. It seemed to be less jerky when I was driving towards me. It seemed like it was easier for me to drive the car compared to driving the car away from me. But driving the car away from me is safer. So I don't know how I'm going to continue doing that in the future. Next was the Evader Nitro, and again, it had the same problems that I always have with nitro cars. It's a pain to get started. I think I finally got the carburetor set up properly so that it would start. And it took off once, and it did a wheelie. And when it came back down, it broke. So those Duratrax evaders, the plastic in them is getting really brittle. I've seen those turnbuckle arms before for sale, so I'll just buy another set of turnbuckle arms and replace it, and it should be fine. It's disappointing. The most I was able to get out of that one was 3 miles an hour. That's nothing. So it's obviously it didn't get a good speed rating before it broke. And finally, the final one that I did was the Lossy DBX, the Desert Buggy Extra Large. That one got up to 40 miles an hour, and you can never go wrong with a 1/5 scale RC car. They're fun, period. Get them started. They're not as bad as nitro cars to get balanced and everything like that, the carburetor in place and get the carburetor working. This time it started out a lot easier than it did last time. I was able to run it up and down the track a couple times. Like I said, got up to 40 miles an hour. I was able to keep that one pretty straight versus the track. But it seems like that steering servo is still a little weak. I've got a better steering servo. I'm going to upgrade that. And also the other issue is that I don't know how long it's been since anybody's charged the batteries that are controlling the servos. So I need to check those batteries also. And there are other things wrong with that one. The shocks are all wore out, so I'm going to redo the shocks. I'm going to put a silenced muffler on it. I don't know what the heck that is, but we'll see if it's any better than the muffler that's on it. Also going to do, like I said, going to do the shocks. I've got new springs, and I've got a shock rebuild kit, so I'm going to do all of that. And that was it. That was the most fun was, honestly, it's a toss-up. That C11 was a lot of fun. It really was. That little Tamiya car was a hoot to drive up and down the track, and it was so easy just to get started. And it's only a brushed motor. It's not brushless. Part of me wants to get like a 2S or 3S brushed motor and stick it inside there and see what I could get out of that. But I don't know if that little plastic gearing that runs it could take it. But it's a neat idea. Is either that or it's the 1/5 scale buggy. I'm sorry, you just can't beat that 1/5 scale buggy. Plus, it didn't break. The other two things I brought were old, and they had issues. The two new ones, or newer ones, were lots of fun. Durability, those Duramaxes, I'm really starting to not trust the durability on those Duramaxes. They're starting to, the pieces are starting to break, the parts are getting hard to find. I think those things are going to be really, really difficult vehicles. They're good for nostalgia factor if you're just going to drive them around like in front of your house. They're excellent. Chances are you're not going to run into anything. So those are good places. Those are good cars for in front of your house. The same thing with the C11. It's a good car for in front of your house. Any of those 1/10 scale cars is really good for in front of your house. The Nitro, it would probably be fine depending on how grumpy your neighbors are in front of the house. The 1/5 scale is getting big. That one's big for running up and down in front of your house, in front of the yard and stuff like that. That one's getting kind of big, but also it depends on your neighborhood. If you've got a neighborhood with a bunch of younger people, you'll probably be fine. When I say younger people, I mean people in their 30s, 40s, 20s. You'll probably be fine. As long as you're running your car between like 9 o'clock and 6 o'clock, stuff like that, where you're in the middle of the day. But still, the car's big. It's almost a quarter the size of a real car. So it's kind of hard to do anything other than going up and down the street with those, doing maneuvers and stuff gets difficult. So in a large field, large parking lot, all of those are great. Medium-sized parking lot, all the 1/10 scales are great. The 1/5 scale, you're starting to get into issues because you can really you get 10 meters, 33 feet, whatever you want to call it. For most of us, that's as much as we have where we can pull our RC car full throttle, and then we've got to slow down. So you could just look at those speed tests that we did, and you could see how much faster that big 1/5 scale car is going by the time that it gets just 10 meters, 10 yards. It's just too much. It's not too much. It's just a lot, and you better be paying attention to what you're doing. Anyways, that's all I got right now for those. This video is going to get cut up and then spliced into the individual videos for the cars, I think. Or maybe I'll do that and I'll release this single video as a standalone also, and then you can let me know which one you prefer. That's all there is for now, though, so I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good week. Bye-bye.